You know that feeling when you walk into your own house and something immediately smells off? Like the universe just hit the plot twist button on your life, and you're the last to know. Yeah, that was me yesterday. I had just gotten home from work, a typical day of pretending to care about spreadsheets and office politics, when I noticed the door was slightly ajar. Not a huge deal, I thought. Maybe I forgot to lock it. But then as I stepped inside, I heard laughter. Not the good kind of laughter like watching a comedy show or something. No, this was the kind of laughter that makes you want to drop kick a brick through the nearest window. Curious and more than a little suspicious, I followed the noise. It led me straight to our bedroom. There she was, my wife, in our bed, and not alone. Now I pride myself on being calm under pressure. I've seen worse in movies. I can fake a poker face like a pro, but nothing prepares you for the sight of the two people you trust the most, tangled up in the kind of mess you only read about in scandal magazines. And the cherry on this disgusting sundae, the other man was none other than my brother. Yes, my brother. The guy I grew up with, shared childhood secrets with, and somehow managed to keep out of jail until now. I froze, like a statue. My brain was screaming, "Run!" But my feet refused to move. What did I say? What did I do wrong? Was it the burnt lasagna last week? The fact that I didn't notice he never liked my new cologne? I wanted answers. But mostly, I wanted to vanish. The room smelled like cheap cologne mixed with betrayal. The kind of smell that sticks to your soul and never washes off. They didn't notice me at first. They were too busy playing the world's most twisted game of hide and seek. But when my shadow crossed the doorway, their faces went pale. My wife's eyes widened like a deer caught in headlights, and my brother, oh my dear brother, he just gave me this sheepish grin like, "Oops, caught red-handed." I laughed. Because what else could I do? Cry? Scream? Call a therapist? No. I laughed. It was the only sane reaction left. "You two sure have impeccable timing," I said, voice dry as a desert. "Did you want me to join? I brought snacks." They looked at each other, desperate to find a way out. Spoiler alert. There was none. I backed away slowly, savoring every second of their humiliation. The betrayal was thick in the air, and I wanted them to choke on it. I grabbed my phone off the dresser, to call the cops, or a friend, or maybe just to Google how to deal with infidelity and incestuous betrayal in one easy step. But no, I had a better idea. Because this was war. And I was not about to be the sad punchline in my own tragedy. I closed the door behind me and went straight to the garage. I needed time to think. Revenge, after all, requires planning, precision, and a bit of dark humor. So there I was, standing among the cobwebs and old boxes, clutching a beer I found in the back of the fridge, my mind racing with all the ways I could turn this nightmare upside down. So there I was, standing in my dusty garage, trying to figure out how to turn my life from a bad soap opera into a revenge thriller. My wife and brother, caught red-handed in a betrayal so cliché it could be in a daytime drama, had underestimated one thing. Me. I took a long swig of the beer, not because I was drowning my sorrows, but because, honestly, I needed liquid courage to face the next steps. First, I thought about confrontation. The classic "you betrayed me" speech, tears, maybe a little dramatic music swelling in the background. But no, that was too easy. And besides, they'd already played that card with me. Twice. So I needed something smarter, something messier, something that would sting like a paper cut that won't heal. Step 1. Information. I had to dig deep. Find out every little secret, every lie, every backdoor they used to hide this mess from me. I mean, if you're going to stab someone in the back, you better make sure they never see it coming. Lucky for me, I'm the family historian. I keep receipts, screenshots, texts, and emails like a paranoid librarian. So, I plugged in my laptop, started scrolling through months of messages and photos, and holy hell, the amount of evidence was staggering. Texts like, "Can't wait to see you tonight, lover," from my wife, and "He's so clueless he never suspects a thing," from my brother. Photos of secret meetups at that dive bar downtown, timestamps hidden in the metadata like they thought I was too dumb to notice. I saved every single piece. Step 2. The audience. This wasn't just about me anymore. Oh no. I was going to turn their private betrayal into public humiliation. I called my closest friends, the ones who pretended to like my cooking and nod politely when I talked about work, and gave them a sneak peek of the family drama. The shock was priceless. But the real kicker was the group chat I created. The betrayal files. Friends, colleagues, and even a few family members got invited. And boy, did the message notifications explode. Step 3. The show. I started dropping little bombs, anonymous texts to my wife's closest friends, a casual, "Heard some interesting news here," a mysterious package with "Found this" notes, there. My brother got a few surprise visits at his workplace with envelopes mysteriously left on his desk. Let's just say, his reputation at the office took a nosedive faster than a bad stock. And my wife? She suddenly found herself the star of whispered conversations, cold shoulders at dinner parties, and a flood of "how could she" looks. Karma, as they say, is a patient enemy, and I was its cruel hand. But I wasn't done yet. Step 4. The final act. I scheduled a family meeting. Yes, I'm as surprised as you are that I agreed to sit in a room with them. But this was going to be the grand finale. I had everything ready. The printed evidence, a slideshow, and even some dramatic music cued on my phone. Nothing like a little theatrical flair to spice up betrayal. When they walked into the room, I saw the panic in their eyes, the same eyes that had sparkled when they thought they were getting away with murder. Metaphorically, of course. I started the presentation with a sarcastic, "Welcome to the Betrayal Awards." Then I played the texts, showed the photos, and narrated the timeline of their treason like I was delivering the evening news. Their faces went from smug to shell-shocked in about 5 seconds flat. I let silence settle for a moment. The best kind of silence, the one that screams louder than words. And then, with a smile that could rival a Bond villain, I said, "Congratulations, you've just won the grand prize for worst people ever. The award ceremony is now officially over." They were speechless, but the damage was done. Step 5. The aftermath. Now they're stuck. No trust, no dignity, and a family shredded beyond repair. I'm the guy who saw the storm coming and decided to dance in the rain, with a smirk. So here I am, plotting the final move. Because revenge isn't just about payback. It's about taking back control. After the family meeting disaster, which, by the way, felt less like a reunion and more like a live episode of Disaster Housewives, I thought I was done. But no. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and I had some ice-cold moves left. First off, I made sure they couldn't just slink away quietly. I changed the locks, rerouted the mail, and put the house on the market. Yep, the nest where all their secrets hatched was about to be sold to some unsuspecting couple who'd never know the history of broken trust in the walls. Then came the sweetest part, the social fallout. I crafted a series of anonymous posts. On the local neighborhood app. The one where everyone pretends to be best friends but secretly judges each other like it's the Olympics of passive aggressiveness. Hey neighbors, just a friendly PSA. Be careful who you trust in our community. Some people are experts at playing happy families while living a soap opera behind closed doors. Cue the flood of whispers, suspicious glances, and casual mentions of, "Did you hear about the scandal at the Johnson house?" Not their real name, of course, I'm no amateur. Meanwhile, I got a little creative with the brothers' workplace. Let's just say a certain friendly email containing copies of the incriminating texts found its way to HR, along with a note about potential conflicts of interest and ethical concerns. I don't need to tell you how that went down. The guy is currently on unpaid leave, polishing his resume in what I imagine is a very lonely apartment. As for my wife, well, she's now the proud owner of a reputation so tarnished, it's practically a local legend. Invitations to parties stopped coming, mutual friends awkwardly avoid eye contact, and the pitying looks at the grocery store are just the cherry on top. But here's the kicker. Through all this chaos, I kept my cool. I didn't lash out, I didn't yell, and I definitely didn't cry on Instagram. Instead, I focused on me. I booked a trip I'd been putting off for years, alone. No drama, no baggage, just me, a plane ticket, and a suitcase full of fresh starts. Before I left, I made sure to send them one last message. Enjoy your new lives. I'm off to find the one thing you two destroyed. Peace. And peace is exactly what I'm chasing now. Funny how betrayal can teach you what truly matters. I thought losing my wife and brother would break me. Instead, it built me. I'm done being the fool in their twisted story. Now I'm the author of my own, and trust me, the ending is going to be a bestseller. So to anyone out there sitting on a secret or caught in a web of lies, just remember, the bigger the betrayal, the sweeter the revenge, and I'm just getting started.